What's up, everybody? How are we? Good?
I would say mediocre.
Marginal at best?
On average.
Is that what you'd say? Marginal?
What's that? Yeah. I think it's really difficult to ask that early in the day because who the hell knows how the day's going to go.
And it's the first day of the week, too. It's a Monday. We're actually recording on schedule this week, which is nice.
Oh, yeah.
Which is nice. Well, yeah, we're back. We got a couple Patreon picks from our friend Dusty. So we'll be doing that momentarily. I don't really have a whole lot going on. So I don't really have anything to promote or say or anything. Hopefully should have some news.
I'm good.
Some more don't forget to leave release news, additional platforms soon, but I don't have anything right now. But the things that I needed to clear up, I'm pretty sure are cleared up. So
nice.
That's good.
Yeah, that's always the worst part.
Yeah, well, actually the worst
bullshit
Actually,
steps.
the worst part is the waiting after it's cleared up because you're like, okay, everything is good and I still got to wait.
Right. And then you start to question, did I actually do it right? Are they going to kick it back to me?
No, this was more a
That's okay.
An issue, related issue that I can't really talk about. So.
No, I can tell.
But, anyway, so this week on the show, Dusty, longtime friend and listener of the show, sent us some Patreon picks. He chose two interesting flicks that I'm actually glad he chose them because I can't imagine we would have covered either of these films on our own. Maybe one of them.
Yeah, for different reasons.
Yeah. So
NightCrawler was huge. Everybody's got great things to say about it, so that wouldn't be a surprise.
Right.
And the other one is
I mean, it's more
like it's possible.
I mean, I guess it's a cult film by the definition of it.
Yeah. If Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan happened to die in the same week, I think that's when we would cover this.
Yeah. But yeah, so if Joe versus the Volcano and NightCrawler are the two picks that Dusty made. If you are a Patreon member, go to patreon.com/outsidethecinema. I mean, if you're not one, you can go there too. And that's where you can join to become one.
Well, yeah.
And you can send us flicks. We'll cover them for the show. And yeah. I don't really like, I like I said earlier, I'm not feeling great today. So I'm just kind of like, let's do this. Okay. Let's get it done.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Do you have a preference to which film we start with, or?
Yeah, let's get rid of it.
Let's get rid of it.
I mean, but like get it off the plate. Get it off the I don't have to think about it anymore.
Fair.
I'm looking for a job. I'm a hard worker. I set high goals. My motto is, if you want to win the lottery, you have to make the money to buy a ticket. So what do you say? I could start tomorrow, or even why not tonight?
No, I'm not hiring.
We're first. Go around. Get a shot inside the car.
Hey, back away.
I got it. I'm back.
Will this be on television?
Morning news. If it bleeds, it leads.
Are you currently hiring? I'm starting a TV news business.
You, get back.
I film breaking stories. Maybe you saw my item this morning with fatal carjacking.
No, I mean, I don't have TV.
Do you have a cell phone?
Yeah.
Is there GPS? Congratulations, you're hired.
Okay. We're taking the next right. Defeat the police.
I will never ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. Excuse me. I have something you'll be very excited about.
You have a good eye. I want you to contact me when you have something.
Something like this.
Think of our newscast as a screaming woman running down the street with her throat cut.
You will be seeing me again.
Unit, residential 211.
A home invasion.
You gotta call the cops.
And we will, at the right time.
But I don't know what to.
We're gonna find the person that drove that car.
Start filming.
I'm Detective Fanieri. I think you withheld information.
That would be a very unprofessional thing for me to do.
It would be murder.
I won't
what you promised me. I want something people can't turn away from.
911, what's your emergency?
We want all of it.
Oh my God!
Change the world.
I think Lou is inspiring all of us to reach a little higher.
Okay, NightCrawler. Sorry, it started again. Jake Gyllenhaal, Renee Russo, Bill Paxton. What was the other kid's name? Why is he so far down?
Riz
Ahmed. I'm like, what? Anyway,
Yeah, he was in Rogue
he's
One.
been in a bunch of stuff. Written and directed by Dan
He was
Gilroy.
really good in this. Yeah.
He worked on Andor. Wrote
Makes
6
sense.
episodes.
Yeah.
He did the screenplay for Skull Island. Screenplay for The
Yeah.
Bourne Legacy.
All definitely like fun movies.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Yeah. What happened?
NightCrawler is a story of Louis Bloom, who is a petty thief who is desperate to work. He's able to muscle his way into the world of crime journalism. Essentially, the NightCrawler is a name given to the freelance cameramen and I do news people in air quotes that basically sit with the police scanner at night and drive to all the stuff and try to get the footage to sell to the networks. Their NightCrawlers are a real thing. There's been a couple documentary series about them. There's actually a documentary series about the guys that they based this on. I don't remember their names offhand. I'll look it up afterwards. But this is Jake Gyllenhaal basically observing an accident and observing the guy, Bill Paxton, showing up to film it. And then he learns that, he can get paid for this.
Yeah, and it seems to him relatively easy. Get a camera, listen, show up, act dumb when you're confronted.
Yep.
or act like you are supposed to be there. That's another way to do it. That's pretty good. But yeah, it's actually like paparazzi, a camera.
Yeah.
That's really all you need. You need that and a little bit of luck and timing. And that's what he's got here. Also, my boy Mysterio here, real scumbag.
Oh, yeah.
Real piece of shit vibes.
Moral compass at all.
Well, yes, you're right. No moral compass, but his drive to succeed is impressive.
Yeah, we're introduced to him at the top of it, breaking into some area that is like a no trespassing off limits area. He's stealing the fence, like he's cutting the fence and stealing the fence. He's stolen copper wiring and aluminum and all of these things that he's selling to a scrap yard. And we see that he is unscrupulous because when the security guard shows up to be like, you can't be here, I'm assuming just beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, I initially thought he killed him because we don't know anything about him, and he is wearing the watch that he eyed while he was talking to him. But it looks like he just assaulted him and did it, because I think that would for me would ruin the entire story. Because if in the very beginning you're willing to kill someone for some manhole covers to sell for scrap, none of the rest of the movie would surprise me.
I agree with that.
He's got to step up as it goes on, and it's like, yeah. So I hope. I mean, I tried to look it up and see, but fucking AI's ruined Google, so I can't trust anything anymore.
Very true.
So
after,
I didn't like it.
Well, and you're not supposed to.
No, and he did a great job from like frame number one.
This is the interesting thing with this too, is that he's one, if I think I get this stat right, he's one of only 8 actors to be nominated for the Golden Globe for Best Actor, the BAFTA, and there was one other one, maybe People's Choice. He was nominated for Best Actor for all of those for this movie and not nominated for the Oscar for Best Actor. One of 8 guys that have ever been nominated for all of those and then not gotten the nomination for Best Actor. And a lot of people were like, there's no, like, he absolutely should have probably won.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. This had some of the most tense moments I've experienced in a movie that isn't supernatural based. I guess is a good way to put it. Like, as the film goes on, you get Mysterio's character there. Just you know how far he will go. The whole movie is basically about negotiation, and he's negotiating with his own humanity. It seems to how much of this can I tolerate to make money to survive.
Yeah. So he starts off. He ends up acquiring a camera after. What did he do to get the money? He stole a bike, like an expensive racing bike.
He claims. I don't know.
He seems like the type of guy that knows, though. You know what I mean? Like,
he's a bullshitter. I really think he is. I don't like to say this, but one of them there evil autistics.
No, I get exactly what you're saying.
He understands human behavior to a fault, and he can manipulate it any way he wants. He could go from a used car salesman to an interrogator, and he has a play for each and every position. The one thing I got to say right up front, because it was in the trailer, the one thing that bothers me that he said, because I've definitely thought logically along like the lines he does, where he's explaining, this is your career, this is what you said, blah, 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 blah. And he like manipulates him into it. But he ends it with, I'll never ask you to do something I wouldn't do myself. Now, I used to say that a lot. Like, when we would close the stores, it would be like, all right, what do you want to do? I don't want to vacuum. I'm like, fine, I'll do whatever. And this is different, but it still hit me really weird when he said that. And
it's the very end of the film, too. It's the last thing you get in the film.
Oh, he says it a couple of times.
True.
Twice, I believe he says it. But yeah, I don't know. It just made me feel kind of, because I was genuine about it. Like, if somebody vomits in the bathroom, I'll help. I'll be there. That's fine. Not to help the person, but to clean it up. But that's it's really greasy when he says it. It's really
especially when
and it made me feel weird.
Yeah, especially when he says it at
past,
the end after you've seen everything that comes before, because it's constantly him raising the bar for himself, and maybe not raising the bar, but how far is he willing to push it? Because it starts with him just kind of overstepping the boundaries the first time he films something and getting too close and getting too involved, but it works.
Yeah.
He's able to sell the footage to Renee Russo, who plays Nina, who is the news director at one of the local stations. And
LA's an LA station, so that's a huge deal.
And I haven't seen Renee Russo in something in a while, and she was actually really good in this. I
like her. I liked her in the Lethal.
Yeah, I liked her in Tin Cup.
I think that's where I first saw her. Tin Cup,
Tin Cup.
Yeah. Tin Cup.
So she's basically like, you hear it in the trailer too, how she's like, you get anything else like this, you bring it to me, you call me directly. And so he then, as he starts to do better, you get a montage of him filming a bunch of stuff and logging the different stories. He decides he needs to get somebody to help him, so he brings in I wanted to say Kash Patel.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We would have known he was scared from the beginning.
Riz Ahmed. Brings in Riz Ahmed to like be his like second man, and like he knows the kid's down on his luck. He knows he's willing to do whatever he needs to do to make some money. He's struggling, doesn't really have a place he's living.
He's hoping he's just like him. Yeah.
So he pays him $30 a night, which is nothing, because they're out there driving probably 7-8 hours easily overnight.
Yeah.
And basically, he's kind of trying to teach him how to do it, how to be his right-hand man, how to move the car after they get to a place, like all the little different things. But
he's teaching him how to be a criminal. His background in being a criminal, it came in super handy for this job.
It's true. But so obviously he starts to do really well because he's not worried about anything.
I honestly believe he perceives himself through other people's eyes the way he wants to be seen. And he doesn't have the insight to see that people see this guy. By the way, he lost 20 pounds for this role, and he was not a fat guy to start with. So he's gaunt and he looks like at one point they call the overnight the vampire shift for the news crew, and like he's not even that. He's like the ghoul that the vampire resurrects to go get him blood. He is ghoulish through the whole thing. It's fascinating his stare. He's like widened his eyes maybe for the whole time and doesn't blink. He's borderline psychotic.
Well, he's a sociopath. There's no question there.
Yeah.
But I read in the notes that they looked at the character like a coyote. So that's why he lost the weight, so he could be really like gaunt and skeletal.
Okay.
And, like when you see like a coyote that's, struggling a little bit to, eat every day or whatever.
It will do what it takes to survive.
Exactly. And that's exactly what he does. Yeah. But as he gets, more work done behind him, he brings in the other guy, and he's doing really well because he doesn't have the moral compass to stop him from doing things that he shouldn't do that are also highly illegal. And I think the first time we really see that is they get to a car accident before the police get there. And jumps out to start filming. There's a guy on the phone with 911. He's questioning the guy. He's like, "What happened?" He's like, and the guy's like, "Fuck off. I'm trying to talk to 911." And so he runs over and he's trying to get his shot, and he realizes the guy's body that fell from the car isn't in the right spot to get the best shot. So he moves the body.
Yeah.
Which is you don't do that.
No, that's tampering with an accident scene, possible crime scene if it was a hit and run.
And so at that point, we know he's willing to do whatever he has to do.
And he feels like he's so intimately connected that he's a part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So we had met Bill Paxton's Joe character earlier in the movie. And there's a point where Gyllenhaal's questioning him about the work that he does. And he's like, are you hiring anybody? And the guy just basically, he like brushes him off or whatever. And he's like, nah, whatever, get out of here. But now that Gyllenhaal is doing really, really well, Joe shows up and is waiting for him when he gets out of one of the news stations to basically offer him a job. And this is one of the things that I did like, that they were able to harken back to how Joe wanted nothing to do with him until he needed him.
That's the world.
And
that is absolutely just.
And Gyllenhaal just not wanting anything to do with them.
Yeah, because if you knew I was good and you didn't want me back then when I was cheaper, fuck off.
Right. But we also then see.
I get it.
Where a couple an instance happens where Joe and his crew beat Lewis to a scene, and he kind of gloats. Oh, my other van's covering such and such over, and blah blah blah. And so.
Yeah, because now that he rebuked him, he wants to make him feel like
rub
shit.
it in and being like, now with me in the way, you're not going to have a chance to get any of this stuff because I'm gonna just cut you right out of it. So Lewis cuts the brake lines of the guy's van, causes an accident, and then is the first one on scene to film the accident. In this,
and the last face that Paxton sees, I don't remember if he died or not. Yeah, doesn't matter at that point.
So it all culminates with this break-in and shooting at a house that the two of them get to before the police get there. Well before the police get
and they've done such a great job that whatever goes down at this point, you're just like, he would do that. I believe that.
And so
because what he does,
it's dark shit.
I was uncomfortable the whole rest of the movie.
He gets there during this home break-in, a home invasion, they say it is. He gets there. It's like a big mansion. The two guys that were doing the shooting or that did the shooting come running out. They drop the weapon. He films them getting into their SUV and driving off. And then he goes into the house.
Because the cops aren't there yet.
Yep. He goes in, films the dead bodies. Films someone that's not quite dead yet.
Yeah, that I missed, but I got it when they were talking about it later. I didn't know. Which one was
I think it was the father, the one that was upstairs.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
And films all the stuff, takes all the footage, and then brings it to Rene Russo's news station. And she's unscrupulous too, because she's willing to run anything because it's going to help the ratings. And we didn't even mention that Gyllenhaal's character tries to kind of entrap her into a relationship with him.
Oh, he absolutely does. He blackmails her with his footage, which is really ballsy. Like, yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, but he was using her to his own ends because he's just an unscrupulous piece of shit. And I don't want to jump ahead too far.
No, we're almost getting. I mean, we're almost getting there. So he brings the footage, but then the police show up at his house the next day because they showed this footage of him in the house, and the police are like, "What?
Give us that."
What?
Give us that. No.
Well, he gives them the footage. But he gives them an edited version.
He gives them footage. Yeah.
So they question him. Did you see the guys that were driving? Did you see the guys that did? He's like, oh, no. He's like, I saw two guys. They just got into a dark SUV. You didn't see anything. Yeah, sure. You can have a copy of the footage. You know. He's like, I was just trying to help.
Yeah, and there's no evidence of that on the tape. I mean, he could have, if he was talking out loud, he could have covered himself by saying, "Oh my God, they just came out. They ran, and I'm gonna see if I can go in and help anybody."
Well, the thing I think what it was is because he didn't really need to, because he gave them an edited version, and also
that's true.
Who says he's recording audio?
Yeah.
You know, he's just could be recording the film, but his thing to them was he went in to try to help and realized that everybody was dead. So he filmed. He filmed it because he considers himself a news person.
Okay. Yeah. A person with absolutely zero training, running into crime scenes. Yeah, sure. He knows what he's doing. He does, but it's fucked up. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying not to jump ahead and ruin anything because there's so much to talk about with this.
So at this point he has footage of the guys that did this. They're using the story to basically make it like there's this big giant crime wave of home invasions, and they're making it into a thing because the news needs to make a story out of it. But he knows the faces of the guys, and he's able to track them down. And so now him and his sidekick, he's talking because he knows things could potentially are going to go real bad in this. So he basically talks the sidekick. He's gonna, I'm gonna make you the vice president of news. I'm gonna give you a raise. And he asks the kid what he wants. Kid's like, $75 a night, which is 125% raise, but still nothing.
Right. And that was the most tense part of the entire film for me, was the conversation in the car, because up to this point, Mysterio's only tricked people and hurt a couple people. He's never killed anyone,
or not with his hands.
By his own hand. Yeah, by his own hand. And I wasn't sure if that was going to happen here or not. I was so worried because this kid is just so innocent and wants to be doing the right thing and wants to help his boss, but he said, he's I'll go the extra mile, but you have to do that too with paying me, and that's not a bad sentiment. And I thought, oh shit, he's dead.
Yeah.
But he didn't kill him. He didn't. They had a conversation. It was difficult, and they seemed to be better for it
until he realized what was going on and what they were doing. And then he essentially had to blackmail him to get out of the car and film. And then they get into this. We don't even need to get into the specifics of the whole ending of the film because it gets fucking crazy. But he sets him up, knowing what could happen. Yeah. So he does kill him.
He does, but he
kept his hands clean of it.
It would be incredibly difficult to charge him with premeditated murder. You could, but you can't prove that the person's eyes were, say, open at the time he saw. Like, it's an impossible piece of evidence to have. Kind of shitty, if you ask me.
Is what it is. But yeah, so NightCrawler is a harrowing 95 minutes or an hour and 40 minutes or however long it is.
But then Rene Russo goes on and on. There's more with her character. Like, who's worse is what I was asking myself at the end. Which one of these two people is the bigger piece of shit? And I think I know the answer, but that's my...
Well, the Rene Russo thing is you can look at it in a couple different ways. She's just trying to survive, or she's the one that created and enabled him, because if she wasn't there, he might have never gotten to where he got to.
He watched them discuss how to use his initial footage of the break-in. And he learned like 10 times more than what they were teaching from that lesson. And that's what led him to it, is he watched Russo's character create news. And we see in the end where the guy's like, no, there was drugs in the walls. It wasn't a home invasion. She's like, I don't give a shit. We're running with that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, to me, she's worse. Because what she's doing is now scaring millions of people and creating an environment of fear that doesn't exist, that the two of them manufactured. And it's too bad people didn't get that message earlier. But whatever. Hey. But that's how I see it. Like he's a minion of hers, and she's a fucking agent of nightmares and chaos. Because she needs a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anchorman 2 parodied the whole 24-hour news cycle, too. That was at least more enjoyable than this.
Yeah, there's no laughs in this.
It was not better. It was not better than this. There's a few uncomfortable laughs if you're sitting with me. Like when he's in the car, and I'm like, oh, shit, this is bad. This is really bad. This is like mafia conversations that used to freak me out when I watched movies. Like, I know what they're talking about. Just come out and say it. Come on. Don't hint around.
Let's just grade it.
Okay. Yeah.
Chris, you recommend, what is your grade for NightCrawler?
Oh, yeah, absolutely recommend this. I love when a movie can just make you not realize you're holding your breath for an entire scene. And that's what I got very late in the movie, but at the exact right time, because the characters are all developed to that point where you know their basic direction, where they point on the good and bad scale. And it didn't surprise me what he was doing, because like you could sort of figure it out as it goes, because like as he's talking things up, you see he learns from each experience and drops the stuff that doesn't work. He's basically rewriting a program in his head to manipulate people. And it was genuinely disturbing, because there are people like that out there. And they may or may not at one point have control of your life. And that's pretty scary. And it's all for money. It's not for any greater good or helping people. It's just, I mean, yeah, you're helping your family eat and shit, but to what end? So yeah, I would recommend this, but it's definitely, don't start it while you're depressed about the news. And, I'm going to go with an A-, maybe an A by the end of the year. It looked beautiful. It was shot absolutely fantastic. The lighting on this was dark, but really crisp. and the soundtrack, all of it was just great. Soundtrack especially was surprising.
Agreed. I'm right there with you. Yeah, I'm absolutely recommending it. The cinematography is fucking incredible. It's reminiscent for me of Drive, like the way LA looked in Drive.
Oh, yeah.
Just as good. Ridiculous. Yeah, the music is awesome. Gyllenhaal is another level. Like, he's so fucking good. Like, it's insane to think that he didn't even get nominated for an Oscar for this. I don't know what he would have been up against that year. I didn't look that deep into it, but like, I can't imagine there was anything better that year than his performance in this, because it was fucking insane. And Rene Russo adds so much to it. And it's just like, it's not your standard Hollywood narrative. It's like, I mean, it's got your 3 acts. It's got everything you expect, but the way it's presented just doesn't flow or feel like a normal Hollywood flick. It's got like I don't even know how to explain it. There's just something different about it when you're watching it. It moves along quickly. You're not like waiting for any like plot points or beats to, like, you're not at any point looking at your watch being like, where are we going with this? Like, their pacing is excellent. So, I mean, you said A-. I think I'm right there with you, man. A-, B+. Like, this is very, very good. And I don't think I had actually watched it all the way through. I want to say that I watched it when it first came out, but I didn't remember the second half of it. And that's not something you forget.
Okay.
So.
True. I looked up the Best Picture, Best Actor for that year. We had Michael Keaton for Birdman, Benedict Cumberbatch in The Imitation Game, Bradley Cooper in American Sniper. Yeah, that was the year of American Sniper. Steve Carell in Foxcatcher, and Eddie Redmayne won for The Theory of Everything. Eddie Redmayne's fine, but
none of those performances are better than this.
Nah.
All right, then. Well, there you have it. That's NightCrawler. Yeah. For something a little easier to digest, but is just as damn confusing, and also probably just as frustrating. 1990s Joe versus the Volcano.
Once upon a time, in the middle of a deep, dark factory, an average Joe,
Joe Banks,
lived a very boring life.
Good morning, Dee Dee.
Hi, Joe. What's with the shoe?
I'm losing my soul.
Yeah.
Until one day, he found out his life was over.
I'm not sick except for this terminal disease.
That's right. You have some time left, Mr. Banks. Live it well.
And that's
Joe Banks?
when his adventure began.
You and I might be able to help each other. I want to hire you to jump into a volcano. A total red carpet situation. It's wine, women, and song in the sweetest little paradise you ever saw. A real journey.
Are you Joe Banks?
Yeah.
Warner Brothers presents
Joe Banks.
the story of a man, a mountain, and a miracle.
Take me to the volcano!
He's diving! He's jumping! He's leaving!
Written and directed by John Patrick Shanley, the Academy Award-winning writer of Moonstruck.
I love you.
I love you, too. I've never been in love with anybody before either. It's great. I am glad. But the timing stinks. I gotta go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe versus the Volcano, 1990. Tom Hanks. First of all, get a load of this cast. Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan, Lloyd Bridges, Robert Stack, Abe Vigoda, Dan Hedaya, Amanda Plummer, Ozzie Davis. I could keep going. There's a bunch of other actors in here you'll recognize too. As they said in the thing, it is written and directed by John Patrick Shanley, who won the Academy Award for Moonstruck. He didn't direct a lot of stuff though. He also wrote the adaptation of Congo.
Jesus Christ.
That Anthony Hopkins Priest movie Doubt.
Oh, okay. That was a little more recent.
2008. So Joe versus the Volcano is an often maligned, butt of a joke type movie.
Yeah.
Because it is really quirky. It is not, Spielberg was an executive producer on this. So I think there's always that sense when someone like Spielberg lends their name to something that you're in for something special. When he didn't have anything to do with it other than, I think it was an Amblin movie too, wasn't it?
Oh,
could have been, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just a bizarre flick too. And one of the things that I thought, I've seen this before. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but was that it was like, it's really early for Meg Ryan, but it's not nearly as early for Tom Hanks as you think it is. When he did this in 1990, Tom Hanks had already done Big.
Oh yeah.
Let me just run through here.
He'd already gone through all of Bosom
Well, yeah, he
Buddies.
did a bunch of the TV shows that he had done early in his career. Don't you hate when you close something and you meant to close the other thing?
Yep.
It happens to me all the time.
All the time.
And now I can't get it to open back up because, why would it? Why would it go quickly?
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So Bosom Buddies was kind of his introduction, acting wise. But he also did a bunch of he did a spot on Taxi, The Love Boat, Happy Days, Family Ties. But he had already done Splash. He'd already done Bachelor Party.
Oh.
He'd already done The Man with One Red Shoe. He already did The Money Pit.
Meg Ryan did When Harry Met Sally the year before this.
No.
Yeah, I'm looking right at it.
No.
When Harry Met Sally was 1989.
I don't think so. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh, yeah. No, that was later. Yeah. So she was just hitting, after Armed and Dangerous in 1986, which I love.
So, yeah, Dragnet, Big, The Burbs, Turner and Hooch, and then Joe versus the Volcano.
Yeah, he went on this kind of weird, almost quirky comedy run.
But it's funny because people think of this as an early Tom Hanks movie. And I guess, if you...
Yeah, he looks super young, though.
Yeah, so if you look at it in terms of it's 2026 and this came out in 1990, it's an early Tom Hanks movie. But, it wasn't like he was a nobody. He was a very well-known, very profitable actor at the time.
Oh,
and he did do a lot of weird, silly comedies until he did Philadelphia, right?
I think that was it. I was just looking to see because I don't know his career.
I feel like Philadelphia was his his turning of oh no, I'm also a really good actor.
That's the one where everybody was like, oh.
And how can you not love Tom Hanks? I mean, well, if you watch this movie, I can actually see why you might not love him.
Yeah.
So Tom Hanks plays Joe.
Yeah.
Joe is a hypochondriac who works in a dead-end job in a atomic post-apocalyptic warehouse.
Yeah, he's living in the set of Brazil. So after Joe, he did Bonfire of the Vanities and Radio Flyer, which were just
Bonfire of the Vanities did pretty well.
Yeah, it was not critically well received.
Not particularly.
But then in 92, he did A League of Their Own. And it was like, Tom Hanks is back. He was like, well, he hadn't really gone anywhere. And then Sleepless in Seattle, and then Philadelphia the same year. So he went from best comedic performance of his career in A League of Their Own to best dramatic actor in Philadelphia in a year. And then Forrest Gump was the year after, and Apollo 13 the
Castaway.
year after that. And then, and then Toy Story, Earth to the Moon, Private Ryan. I mean, he hit almost everything until I was gonna say Road to Perdition, but Lady Killers didn't do as well as everybody was expecting. But then The Terminal brought him right back, and then they used his likeness and voice apparently in The Polar Express, which I don't talk about. Because, ugh. And then he was in the Simpsons movie, so there we go. And then he did all that Robert Langdon stuff, which I found personally boring. But He's held on there pretty well, better than some other
Agreed.
actors.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So he just lives this life of he's always sick and goes to this doctor, and the doctor says to him, yeah, you got a brain fog, the clinical brain fog.
Yeah.
And you're going to die in 6 months.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there anything I can do about it? Nope.
Try to live your life.
Yeah.
Okay. Goes back, quits his job, has it out with Dan Hedaya. I do have to mention that the doctor he sees is played by Robert Stack. And anytime Robert Stack shows up
Ultra Magnus himself.
It's the best.
He's good. He brings this like friendly arrogance to every sentence he
He's
says.
just so,
I don't know.
so good. When he does his Unsolved Mysteries Robert Stack thing in, what was it, Amazon Women on the Moon? Or it was one of those where they proved that Jack the Ripper was actually the Loch Ness Monster. I think it's Amazon Women on the Moon.
Okay. I can't remember.
Let me look it up.
Since I saw it.
But obviously also he's great in fucking Airplane.
Yeah, he pulls off like comedic sidekick but serious straight man at the same time, and that's
well, yeah, because he plays the straight
feat.
man.
Yeah, but he also has some really great lines. The straight man generally doesn't, or it's at their own expense. But he delivers some good zingers. Anyway,
I'm trying
that's
to find
not this movie.
well, it's probably not under actor. It's probably as himself. But he was.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't basketball. I know he was in basketball.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that. That was just a straightforward sports comedy.
Right, but he played Unsolved Mysteries actor in that.
Oh, yeah, they could have been watching TV. Who knows?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Either way.
Remember.
Anyway, so he goes and he quits his job, has it out with Dan Hedaya in a really humorous takedown. I love Dan Hedaya too. So, and then we mentioned Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan plays 3 roles in this, which is really interesting because that's not normal for a female actress to play 3 different roles.
No.
But she plays the one woman that works in the office with him, who he then goes out on a date with. She then also plays. So then Lloyd Bridges shows up, and he is a rich guy who is trying to get this small island to give him this element that he needs to make for his superconductors, but they're super religious and they need somebody to jump into the volcano. And he's like, we have the same doctor. He told me about you. He said, you're going to die anyway. He's like, how about I give you all these credit cards to do whatever you want with for the next couple days. And then you fly to LA and then take a boat to this island and then you jump in the volcano. He's like, you're going to die anyway. Live it up for a little while. And then I can get what I need. They get what they need. And you die.
Yep.
So
now let's point out that the island he's going to is called Wapani-Woo. And the element thereafter is Boobaroo. So imagine Lloyd Bridges really close to the camera saying Boobaroo. Like, that is not the element name. That's not a mineral. That's a filling at IHOP for pancakes. So, but it's so out of nowhere. But then I remember from hearing the trailer, because you forget this by the time the movie starts, and you're like, oh my God, that's just like my dead-end job. I feel sick all the time. Like, it really nails that part of it. It starts off with Once Upon a Time, and it ends with the end. They lived happily ever after. It's a literal fairy tale, like The Princess Bride. So if you watch this, your logic kind of has to be put aside and told to take a seat for a minute every now and then, because it's a fairy tale.
because there's a lot of things in it that, like, if you're trying to take it too literally, will just change how you feel about it. One of the things I saw, I noticed this when I watched, and then saw that somebody else mentioned it. This is kind of jumping ahead, but so he's on the boat sinks. Him and Meg Ryan survive. Everybody else dies, but it's never. They never talk about like the fact that everyone else on the boat died, never to be seen again.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's mentioned once. Last I saw them, they were over there or something.
I don't remember that.
Nothing of any consequence.
Right. So he agrees to do it. He takes the credit card. He buys a bunch of clothes. He rides around with the guy that's driving the limo and talks to him and kind of befriends him and gets a haircut because the movie starts with him with the worst mullet ever.
I liked it. I liked his look as like a background character in Dark City. Because that's what he looked like.
He looked like a guy
me.
that should have been fighting hopping vampires with that fedora.
Oh God, yeah. He had a good tiny fedora.
Big hair, tiny fedora.
Yeah. It's a 1980s Queensryche video, and Tom Hanks is in it.
Eyes of a Stranger. There you go. So he then gets on the plane. He flies there, and we meet the second of Meg Ryan's characters, Angelica, who is the daughter of Lloyd Bridges' character, and she's there to pick him up and take him to dinner, get him to the hotel, take care of everything they need to take care of. And she is she's an odd character. Like, she's supposed to be like a bizarre.
She's the redhead from Gremlins too.
Yeah, she is.
I mean, let's just put it right there on the table.
Is.
This is a regular middle class man's idea of a rich redheaded vixen.
Yes, from California specifically, from LA specifically.
Oh yeah. I cannot imitate the way she talks, but it is overly breathy. Like if Marilyn Monroe had chest constriction.
And also a 25% New York accent removed.
Yeah. It was an interesting accent. And she held it, which was good.
We got to give Meg Ryan some credit here. I mean, she's made a lot of garbage over the years, but she does a good job in this movie. And I generally like Meg Ryan. I generally don't like what she's done to her face in the last number of years.
I know fame and attention make people do really weird
and
things
it's so
sometimes.
tough especially for actresses that as they age, they always feel that they got to still try to be young, which is stupid.
Oh, you're 35. Great, we'll cast you as Mama Coco in the live action.
Nice.
version.
So you should probably get like $200,000 of facelifts.
Yeah,
I have no skin left on my face. Like,
perfect.
Oh, good,
perfect.
Nice.
You're Mama Coco in the afterlife.
You look like a leather bag.
Yeah.
Anyway, Meg Ryan does a great job.
Oh.
She kind of connects with him, but then he sees Patricia, who is the stepsister of Angelica, and he makes a nice joke because they're the same actress, obviously. And he goes, "She's your stepsister?" Because they look exactly the same, only Patricia has blonde hair and Angelica has red hair.
Yeah.
But so she's the captain of the boat. And so they're off. They don't see eye to eye right off the bat, but they then make a connection.
Oh, no. Yeah. They do. It feels unnatural because it's a fairy tale. It happens way too fast and for almost no reason.
Yep, true. So this is where, though, I kind of remembered what I didn't like about this movie. Going back 20 odd years, the last time I saw it, was that when you watch that trailer, you are expecting a zany on-island experience for the majority of this movie. Because you have Abe Vigoda as the chief of the Waponis, and you have who was the other classic actor that Nathan Lane.
Was that
Nathan Lane shows up, and you're like, okay, these are big guns, funny guys, and it's presented that like they're going to be on this island for like the majority of the movie.
Yeah, no, those two actors were apparently just doing a favor.
I think so. Spielberg was like, hey, Joe versus the Volcano isn't going the way we want it to. As executive producer, could you guys come by and just... But like they should have, like... The funnest, most interesting stuff in the film is the stuff on the island, and it's the last 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. And why was it fun to you? I have an idea, but I don't want to see what you think first.
If you're looking at it in the terms of a fairy tale, everything is ramped up when they get to the island. The ridiculousness is just like they're all obsessed with orange soda. There's no reason why they should be, but they are, and they're all just carrying these giant cans of orange soda around. Everything is
they wear it as jewelry
everything
and
is super
headdress
colorful. There's like the little funny things where the guys like swing into the gongs and smash into the gongs, and then they get carried out. Like
it's the polar opposite of his work life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and it's frustrating because the lead up to going into the volcano should be the biggest part of the movie, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's one of the quickest things that they just like do it. Like, all right, I guess I'm jumping in the volcano now.
But it does do this thing that a lot of other movies would do with their female characters, like say Flash Gordon, where it's the virgin princess being prepared for ritual. It's Tom Hanks sitting on a big leaf, getting water dumped on him and stuff, and that's a nice change. And Meg Ryan's just like sitting there being fed grapes, so I could see a little bit of what they were doing with it.
It just didn't last long enough for me.
Yeah. But how much could they have done with the island and kept it fresh while still keeping that, oh shit, he's
what they could have done is you could have gotten into the lore of it a little bit more. Like a couple rumbles from the volcano here. They start telling stories about why. And like, there's a lot of things they could have done with it. I think they just waited so long to get there that they were just like, all right, let's get through with this.
Yeah, but I'm going to argue this point just because I thought of it. It's about Joe changing, right? So at the end, he's learned that he has a lot to live for, but he's a man of his word.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting, very difficult place. It wouldn't be for me if I met Meg Ryan on a boat and she was still talking to me after we were stuck on the ocean. I'm not jumping in a volcano.
Right.
It's not happening. I'm gonna cast away myself out of here. We're gonna go.
Right. But yeah, so like that overall message of hope is good. Like, this is still it's a bizarre film in like its timing when it was released, the people that were involved in it, and kind of just like where it went, because it's become a cult hit, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's bizarre, man. Bizarre.
It is. It falls in that like Beetlejuice area of, well, it's quirky. People will either get it or they won't. And like Highway to Hell falls into that same thing, and that didn't land, but Beetlejuice did.
Yeah.
It's just it's one of those things you can't really. I like the ideas thrown into Highway to Hell, but Beetlejuice, for instance, was a more competently made film.
Yep.
And this was competently made, but I don't think people were ready or wanted to see some schlub make himself better and then kill himself. That's the whole idea. Like, you expect when you go watch Penn and Teller get killed, that movie should deliver on one thing at least, right? So if he's saying, I'm going to jump in, fine, jump in, die. And it has to be a fairy tale because the ending could not happen if it wasn't magic.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. All right, Chris, do you recommend, what is your grade for Joe versus the Volcano?
I'm going to recommend it, but this is one of those, for me, it's one of those, watch it a couple of times and pick out all of the foreshadowing and all of the images of volcanoes and cracks in the ground. I guess the symbol of the company, with the jagged line going up the pyramid, that's the crack on his wall. But the front entrance of the factory is the face of the demon. That's the volcano. So like Joe could be having his brain cloud and he could be dying for all we know. And this is his Jacob's ladder, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But
actually really good.
I'm going to choose to believe that he went on this. He went on this because it's too easy to go with, Bob's family was dead the whole time. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I think he didn't live in a real world like us, because the parking lot alone would not have been as bad as it was, like anywhere. So, and then it's perception, unreliable narrator, whatever. It doesn't matter. This is a story about you can always go meet other people and you can change things if you want to. That's how I see it this time around. When I first watched it, I was like, that's weird. Reminds me of Cabin Boy, or the other way around. Because it's got that same, like, not ethereal, but like surreal kind of feel to it. It's like just 5 seconds shifted out of reality. I'm going to give it a B. I saw it in the theater. I liked it because other people didn't, which is kind of how I operated in my teens. And it didn't disappoint. Meg Ryan is absolutely one of the cutest actresses I've ever seen.
Agreed. I agree with everything there. Acting.
And Meg Ryan's character, I believe, was the ego and the super ego split, like, into those three sisters. Okay. I don't know much else about it, but the last version was like the whole complete version. Like if they did twins and it was three people.
Triplets.
She would be the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That would be triplets, Chris. If you have twins, only it's three. Yes. It's triplets.
I know. I only have twins, so I didn't learn anything
Fair
past
enough.
that.
All right. I'm going to recommend it also. I think it's kind of an unfairly maligned flick. Here we are 30 years or whatever later. Is it great? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. It's very quirky. It's kind of weird. It's sickly sweet the way it ends. And but you got to look at it and they set you up once upon a time and they lived happily ever after. So you have to understand you're watching a fairy tale. You're not watching reality. So I think with all that said, it's good. It's good. It's worth watching for sure. It's not something for me that would ever that's ever going to fully stick. Like I never thought about revisiting after I originally saw it in the 90s. Like it was always just like, but then there's Joe versus the Volcano.
I'd rather watch Joe versus the Volcano than the Money Pit again. The Money Pit is, especially now, very depressing.
Agreed. And it's Shelley Long, not Meg Ryan. So
that's true. She's fine, but she's no Meg Ryan smile on camera.
Very true. Okay. Grade. B. B minus B.
Yeah.
Speaking of B minus B, the Marine.
No.
4? Is he on 4?
I can never, ever remember.
Let's find out.
Oh, well, hello there, Bill. Hey there, Chris, and hello, OTC Nation.
Hello.
It's your boy Joe here, and this week, Bill, I don't know, man. I got nothing. It's hot. He made me watch the Marine 4 Moving Target. Kind of wish I could have ducked and dodged out of the way of this movie. Not really. Well, it's another Alan McElroy joint, boys. You remember Alan McElroy, right? Wrote the OG Marine movie. Also Ballistic.
Oh, okay.
X versus Sever. And the Kirk Cameron joint where, God
left him behind.
This is the point where I'm sitting cross-legged in my PJs in front of the TV, and I turn around and I say to you two, he's back. No joke. He's one of the worst fucking writers I've ever come across. Sure, he's got a couple of good films. But goddamn, for every good film he's done, he's got 4 or 5 absolute just stagnant water at the bottom of a trash can stinkers that he has presented to the world with the confidence of someone who truly has not earned their place, doesn't give a fuck. You remember when Steve-O and Chris Pontius from Jackass were on SmackDown and Umaga decided that he was going to make sure that they knew that wrestling wasn't fake? If you don't remember, he fucking booted Pontius dead center of the chest like he was a mark getting into the ring in the old school days when you had to worry about marks having knives and shit. And then he gave Steve-O a shoot Samoan drop that legitimately hurt him. Go back to Hollywood and tell everybody how fake your separated shoulder is, Steven. My point is, it should have been Alan McElroy. Sorry, I'm all ADHD hyper-focused now on how bad this guy sucks. I'm going to try to work my way out of it. But much like how Umaga protected the integrity of pro wrestling against two outsiders, I wonder why nobody in the movie business decided to do the same with Alan McElroy. I mean, his respect for his audience's intelligence is tantamount to the respect I'm guessing the Jackass guys showed backstage at that show. Otherwise, I'm guessing Umaga would not have gotten so old school with them. Like, McElroy respects his audience so much that in between credits in the opening, we get like dictionary-style definitions for terms like Semper Fidelis and Jarhead and Oorah, and other very, very well-known or completely irrelevant marine idioms. They just like we're children who know nothing. Now that I'm thinking about it, that feels like it might have been a directive from Vince McMahon. That might not be 100% on McElroy. But still, fuck that guy. Anyway, The Miz is now a private security man, and they're trying to make it look like he's at like a low point in his life. But he's not like the security guy working the desk at like the Ford Museum in downtown Grand Rapids. Or the two retired cops working the metal detector at the courthouse where I work. Like, he's a suit wearing, gun carrying, vetted up the ass security detail guy, and I just Googled, and the average salary there is like 80 to 100 grand a year. And yet we open on him waking up and starting his day like he's working a cash register that rings things up wrong at an Aldi frequented exclusively by complaining customers. Like, shit, bitch, 99% of the time, all you got to do is walk someone from one place to another while, paying attention for 100 grand a year. It's not always going to be an action movie. Sometimes you're just walking Beyonce from, the taxi to the hotel. You just maybe leave the moat behind in the hotel room along with your used Kleenex. At least this time they remembered to make the bad guys actual bad guys. Like, that's a refreshing change of pace, and I shouldn't have to think that. And also something that should be inherent in your basic ass, vanilla ass, military man ass action flick. So there's an asset who is turning state's evidence against the nation's largest defense contractor. I'm sure it's like, I forget what they call it, but it's like Schmackey, Schmartin. Because the defense contractor is traitorous and corrupt. They don't say how. They just say traitorous and corrupt. Which is like saying ice cream is cold and sweet. Like, of course, this asset, by the way, who is a sexy woman in her mid-20s, I'm sure all the super genius data crunchers working for Schmackey Schmartin have like smoky eyeliner and killer bodies, right?
I hope so.
Right?
Yes.
Anyone?
Yes. That's where my toxic text dollars go.
No, they're not all insufferable nerds. Okay. Summer Rae is here too, if you remember her.
I do.
From her cup of coffee in WWE. And they had so much confidence in her acting that we are an hour in and she has not said a word.
Wow.
I had to leave that pregnant pause there. We are an hour into this movie. They have featured her a dozen times just doing cool shit, and she has not said a word. All we've gotten from her is steely looks and slapping the front of her rifle, even though she didn't put a fresh clip in it. I'm not sure who knows this or not. I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence, but the charging handle on an HK rifle is in the front, and slapping it sends the bolt forward, which chambers the first round of the clip. Like, doing this on a rifle that you didn't just put a clip into, or a non-HK brand rifle, only serves to look cool in movies and probably hurt your hand a little bit. I will give them credit in that most of the rifles used in the movie are Heckler & Koch rifles. So they're not, like, completely stupid.
Well, good.
Okay, I just Googled it. Summer Rae
They hired a good armor.
has exactly 2 lines of dialogue in this film. And she's on the cover art. Well, it makes sense. I mean, it's a WWE film, and she's a sarcastic quotes WWE superstar. Like, I can't write a joke better than someone being so bad that they have 2 spoken lines of dialogue. Not even enough to get a SAG card, but they're on the deal.
Didn't they do the same thing with Gina Carano in Deadpool, though?
Sight unseen. If you were just browsing through, presumably,
I don't know.
you'd think she was either the main villain or like the hero's like second, like she's his Tonto. But no, not Summer. She just runs through the woods and slaps her gun a lot, and is probably just happy to be there. The whole back half of this is just the Mercs hunting the Miz and his ward in the woods. The hunter becomes the hunted. How the fuck did he manage to rig like an entire forest with traps overnight? Like they established that he had like maybe 8 hours to do this, and he rigs a solid like baker's dozen traps. Like
he learned from Nancy.
He's one guy. That's not the only question I have for this movie.
Fast.
My questions include: why do these movies always make small town cops look like buffoons? Like. My office is in the sheriff's office of my small town, and while there are distinctly some buffoons there, like, most of them are not. Like, not just like
I would hope
compared to the trained mercenaries, but they make them look like full-on incompetent boobs. Why do none of these people need to drink, eat, or rest, or poop? I get that I don't need to see everything, but it's a chance to, like, grab a rest hold and do some exposition. Also, how can you fire 2,500 bullets at a regular car and not hit the radiator, a tire, or anything of consequence? I could go on, but we know the tropes.
It's a fairy tale. There it is. That's what it is.
But it was just,
you have Summer Rae loading
this
your guns.
was just a dynamic example of those issues. So, here's the thing. The good. Again, it's The Miz. And I literally just got that, like, acid coming up to the back of your throat feeling. I don't even dislike The Miz. He's fine. Like, dude gets it, and he makes the best of a lackluster script. Also, in this one, they focus a little bit more on hand-to-hand combat, and the fight choreography is honestly pretty tight. The bad. Anyone in this film not named Mizanin is just the worst, like, most cut and paste, bland, non-character ass characters you can imagine. There is zero flavor here. It is a glass of room temperature water. Like you do that with the hench people, not the named characters. The main baddie in this is just some guy, and he's bald and he's fine, and they present him as stuff, but he's just vanilla. This was on par with the last one, so she's going to go ahead and take this C and be happy for it. Like, it's fine. If you want an action movie to put on in the background while you clean the house, you could do worse. That would probably be the best way to enjoy this film. Next time you're cleaning the house, throw this on in the background. It's fine. Okay. I realize that's not big praise. I'll be back next week with the Marine 5 Battleground. And I just read the summary, and I'm going to need you all to listen to this and anticipate next week as much as I am not. Ex-Marine turned EMT Jake Carter must protect an injured man from a vengeful biker gang at an abandoned amusement park. Where did Jake Carter's life go wrong? That movie's gonna suck. But it'll suck next week, so until then, be good, everyone.
Oh, man. What a fart of a film.
Yeah.
Speaking of farts, here's Scott. Nope, that's the wrong one. That's last week's. Stop. That's last week's. Stop. That's last week's. This one. Oh, Christ. Come on. It's coming. It says it's downloading.
Okay.
Oh, man. What the hell? Oh, there we go. All right. It's another episode outside the cinema. Cinema. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. With Reverend Scott. All right, let's get back so we can be done with it.
I just you being a professional over there.
No, I want to do it so we can be done with it.
Okay, that's fair.
Hey there, Bill and Chris.
Yeah, we want this. We want this.
This is Reverend Scott.
No, we don't want that. Oh my God, it's so much worse than I thought.
Maybe you'll change your mind when you hear that this week I'll be talking about internet sensation turned blockbuster A24 hit, The Backrooms, directed and partially written by Kane Parsons, who started his own Backrooms video series on YouTube back when he was only 16. What were you doing when you were 16?
Jerking off.
And once A24 saw his videos, they approached Kane and said, we could make so much money. I mean, we could make a great movie. And Kane was like,
yeah, sounds good.
But how do you turn a series of videos about a lot of empty, yellow carpeted, weird rooms into a feature-length film?
I'm just like, what? Like, what? How? How?
Well, first thing you need is a main character. So we have Clark, played by a guy whose name I'm not even gonna dare pronounce that. Just know that he was Baron Mordo in the Doctor Strange movies. And Clark owns and runs Captain Clark's Ottoman Emporium. Supposedly, he has the best deals on furniture around. But based on his lack of customers, I gotta be honest, I think he may be exaggerating a little bit.
I think that's a stretch.
It's the best I can do.
It's a good try. Again, it's a good try.
But hey, it's the 90s. If the sales don't get the people in, then maybe a sweet TV commercial will. So Clark gets his seemingly only employees, Kat, played by Kukita Maxwell, which I know her from the Apple Plus series called Shrinking, which is excellent, and Bobby, played by Finn Bennett, who was in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, apparently, but I don't remember him. Anyway, Clark dresses up like a pirate with a fake parrot and a peg leg and slashes prices with his pirate sword in an uncomfortably long, warbly VHS-looking commercial, ending in his garbage furniture chair breaking when he sits on it. How ironic. I do think Clark thought this was going to really help get business.
Well, you thought wrong, dude.
And due to that lack of customers, the bills are starting to pile up. And on top of that, the lights aren't working in the store right. They seem to be racking his bill up real high and turning on at night for no reason. Not even the guy he brought in to try and fix it can figure out what the hell's going on. But all that are just the least of Clark's worries, it seems, because his marriage recently fell apart, or somewhat recently at least. His dreams of being an architect have also slipped through his fingers, and the only person he has to talk about all this with now is his therapist, Mary, played by Renate Reinsve. God, what is up with the names of these people? But talking to her goes about as well as his business is going. Mary does a little role play with Clark and argues as if she's Clark's ex-wife, poking at some of his nerves on purpose, pointing out his drinking problem, and he points out that she's living in his house that he pays for, and that's gotta hurt. Clark quickly changes his mind about this role play shit.
Yeah, let's talk. No, not like that.
I guess it's good Clark still has his Ottoman Emporium because he's literally living there. Honestly, though, it's kind of sweet. He has a TV, a bed, a nightstand, and oh, did I mention the lights downstairs keep turning on all on their own, even when he cuts the power to the breaker? And then they turn off all on their own, too. But why is all this happening?
Here's an answer for you. Whatever.
Yeah.
I guess it could have been fate or the script. But in the darkness, he notices what appears to be a line of light coming through the wall, a crack that only shows up at certain angles. He tries to touch it and falls through the wall, and you'll never guess where he goes next.
Dr. Tart's torture dungeon.
Yeah, you wish. He goes to the back rooms through an invisible door to exactly what you'd expect to see. That drab yellow wallpaper, moist-looking yellow carpet, intense loud fluorescent lighting, and a pile of furniture. some of which is basically melting into the floor. Clark continues to explore to increasingly more weird areas and possible angles and heights and stretches of walls and things that seem to go on endlessly, yet he just keeps going. You think he'd be freaked out and get the hell out of there immediately.
No, he doesn't. It takes fucking forever.
But he eventually does leave and tells his therapist Mary about it. And here's a detail I've kind of found cool. Clark has said that he wanted to be, or trained to be, and should be an architect. And so he pulls out this hand-drawn map of the rooms that he's been in so far to try and show Mary everything. He describes the place like trying to tell someone who's never seen a dog before what one looks like, and then trying to have them draw it. I'm not sure Mary's exactly buying this shit. She even asked him if he's been drinking, but Clark is insisting that it's real and he's sober, and he's fairly convincing.
But I like that it was shown here that he doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
But that's purposeful.
But goddamn, he's trying.
Clark decides to go visit Kat and her boyfriend Bobby at their weird apartments and have them bring that camera they used for the TV commercial to explore this new discovery Clark has found. Now I won't go into exact details as to what happens during this little exploration, but I will say that it's one of the most disturbing parts of the film besides some stuff at the end. And Kat and Bobby are far too willing to blindly do what Clark tells them.
Spray him with whipped cream, join them in the shower, and then bone down. Yep, because that's the right thing.
What the hell movie did you watch, Chris?
Predator 2.
But really, Kat and Bobby could have said no, but then again, maybe Clark just shouldn't have asked them to go do this stuff in the first place.
It's your fault because you brought it to him.
Meanwhile, we have a scientist from the Async Corporation, known only as Phil, played by star of The League and Creep 1 and 2, Mark Duplass. They're well aware of the back rooms and have been monitoring and testing those guys that show up in like those hazmat-looking zip-up suits. And one of his cameras has picked up Clark from the inside of the back rooms. Then later, when he's having dinner with his family and he's watching Never-Ending Story, which just so happens to be about a completely alternate world outside of our own, Captain Clark's commercial pops up. And what do you know? Phil instantly recognizes Clark and he is freaking out.
Today is actually a pretty big day.
Meanwhile, Mary is battling her own demons. She has memories of her mom slowly losing her mind when she was only a child, being forced to be a shut-in in her own home. There's an amazing sequence of the camera dropping through the floor over and over through various levels, showing her own childhood living room slowly degrade into something unrecognizable, like copies of memories. And while I found most of all these character building parts pretty interesting, I fear the 20-something crowd of my audience that kept getting up and walking in front of everyone and out of the theater and then back into the theater and back to their seats 30 fucking times may have found it not so interesting. And I'm sure they all ran home to review it afterwards too.
You're going to be annoyed and then bored.
Hey, but don't listen to them. Even though it does take longer than it probably should to get to the more interesting themes and scenes in the movie, when it does finally get there, we find more than we've ever learned about why the Backrooms is the way it is. Not necessarily how or why, but we do get some interesting reasoning. There is a rather intense scene where Mary finally finds Clark in the back rooms after she gets worried about him, and she goes to the store to find him and sees this weird marking on the door and walks right into it. They sit at the dinner table and Clark tells Mary in a very disturbing way why maybe he's just better off in this place. Nothing seems to be working for him in the real world. He can't seem to be the person everyone wants him to be. But in the back rooms, he doesn't have to change.
We don't have to be like that here. I'm like, all right, I don't know how to behave then.
Clark is seeking a physical escape while Mary is looking for answers psychologically, and Phil obviously is looking at things for answers scientifically. 3 totally different views of the same fucked up place that play well together very nicely as a way to explain the back rooms without completely removing the mystery of it. It kind of reminds me of Annihilation. We eventually understood what the place was doing, but it was never really spelled out for us why or how exactly. You just need to keep the audience interested without spoon-feeding them every detail in an exposition dump.
Yeah, that's tacky. Don't do that.
If I had any criticism, it would be with the overall pacing of the film. Sometimes the slow and quiet scenes worked incredibly well. I don't mind a slow burn, but sometimes it would just go on a bit too long. There's a lot of building up the third act of the film, and while I thought it was rewarding overall, I know there's just going to be a lot of people that won't really appreciate it. So when you see this, and I do recommend you see this movie, make sure you keep an open mind and don't get in a hurry to move things along. Just let the movie breathe and unfold at its own pace.
Which is nice, makes my life easy.
While there's only a few times it felt legitimately scary, it was mostly just kind of in that unnerving to watch area. Things felt off and just not right. You'd watch people openly go into areas and you're just like, nope, don't do that. And there's a good reason that it felt like that. They built 30,000 square feet of physical rooms to film this movie in. Luckily, this wasn't some bastardized Hollywood version of what Kane made so popular on his YouTube videos. This seems to be legitimately his vision. And I like to give the back rooms, I'll say a B+. Okay, that's all I'm willing to say about that flick, but I am willing to say some more about judging your reviews from last week, such as Luther the Geek, aka
Eggs are hilarious. And I'll never hear the end of it. And I want to hear the end of it after Reverend Scott brings us up for 6 more weeks.
And it admittedly started off a little rough and meandering as you attempted to talk about anything that wasn't the movie. But when you did get into that home invasion part, it got pretty good. It seems like you guys kind of hated this one, but someone paid you handsomely to get you to review it.
We had 19 bricks of gold hidden underneath the floorboards.
So I give Luther the Geek a straight D, but the review gets an A-. And last but also least, Frozen Scream, aka
Jack around the shack tonight. We're gonna jack around the shack tonight. We're gonna jack around the shack. We're gonna jack around the shack. There's got some clips for next week.
Actually, I rather prefer the originals best.
1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4. We're gonna jack around the shack tonight. We're gonna jack around the shack tonight. We're gonna jack around the shack tonight. We're gonna jack around the shack tonight.
Frozen Scream gets an A, and the review gets an A both times. All right, that's all I have for this week. So until the next time you fall through the wall of your furniture store / home into a yellow wonderland nightmare with your therapist, peace and love, guys. Holy shit with Reverend Scott.
It thinks it's pretentious. It's not, though. It's really just dumb.
Hey, my kid's birthday is coming up, and I thought you guys could maybe sing happy birthday to her, but you probably won't do that.
Fucking right. I want to touch boobs, not sing happy birthday. Jesus Christ.
Agreed. Boobs are sweet.
That was a good reuse of my audio. I like that.
Thank you guys for listening. If you are not a member of the Patreon and would like to join, go to patreon.com/outside-the-cinema. If you are a member and have sent movies, send us movies. Follow Chris and I on Instagram at Cthulhu, at OTC Bill, and don't forget to check out Spectopia Art.
Yes, thank you.
Thank y'all. I don't know what's going on next week. We'll figure it out. We hope you all have a good week.
Yeah, we do.
All right, bye.
Yeah. Okay, bye.